So we have today two Gold Squadron members going facing off the top four here. We got Marcel Manzano, the current North American champion. He's a North American champion for 2 more weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, because and there's no way for him to repeat because he can't make it. He actually double booked himself on a vacation, so can't do anything about that. But he's going against one of our other Gold Squadron members, Robert Jures, flying a variant of the 4-ship Rebel build.
Yeah, and I really like this this take that Robert has fielded here, using Rourke Garnett, pilot you don't see that much of, but has some really unique functionality and really good synergy with this list.
Yeah, being able to take Rex and bump him up to pilot skill 12 is going to be a huge piece that he's going to have to leverage. Now, Marcel does have target lock ordnance that can ignore Biggs, so if he sets it up right, he could go after Rex if he wanted to, but I actually don't think that's the best strategy in this list. What I think you do is you go straight at Biggs, because Biggs has R2-D2. He does not have the reduction droid that most Biggs has, the R4-D6. And you just pound Biggs, get rid of him right away, and after that, probably depends on what the opportunity is there, because Lorik can only do his ability one time.
Yeah,
only one time. So if he can take Biggs out in one turn, that'll work out. We'll give him the green light here. We'll be right back. Alrighty. So they're starting to place asteroids here. Marcel's starting with a 2-2 rock in Robert's side of the board.
Yeah, it looks like they're
really opening up the field.
Really keeping an open formation here. It is interesting. Robert is not flying Jess in his list, which is the typical way this list goes. And with Marcel flying all pilot skill 3, that will actually be somewhat relevant. Even though Robert has all relatively low pilot skill, they're all still higher than Marcel's contracted scouts.
Well, one thing that it does play for Marcel is, these jumps, they want to block.
That's right.
They want to block. So being lower than your opponent, like when you see when you fly triple scouts and you see a pilot skill 1 or 2, or you lose the initiative on 3, you go, oh, shit. You're a little upset because you wanna block.
Sure. Yeah, especially he's running the intel agent as well, so even better position to block.
Yep, and Marcel is setting up in his what I consider his typical formation here. He's going to go close to the edge. He's going to put the next one with the spacer, and then the third one will be facing towards the other two jump masters. That's the one without extra munitions, and will be can, if he wants to, turn in behind him. He has a couple of options here. You'll either see Marcel take the red one, go forward, and then barrel roll to block the silver one if he wants an extra turn to see where Robert's going to go, or he'll come out fast with some like two forwards, and then just turn the one in if he wants to get aggressive, or he can go 4 with the front 2 and 2 with the blue one.
Yeah, Marcel is always good about getting these jump masters in formation, either getting them set up to block or setting up a kill box, or at least just getting all arcs where they want to be pointed. The ability to reposition with the barrel roll helps out a lot, but also just Marcel being able to envision where these ships are going to end up, one of his big strengths.
Yep, and the blocking ability of the scouts, one thing that he could do, depending on how the game works out, is if he wants to, he can use that blocking to start separating the formation, because Rex's ability to be able to lower the attack dice of another ship is great, but if you, let's say, block a K-turn from Rex or something like that, and Rex is pointing in the wrong direction and can't be used, well then that's advantage Marcel.
Yeah, good point. We see Robert setting up in kind of just a block formation. It looks like, I can't tell if he has a kind of a slight pinwheel there, or if he's in a straight block, but it looks like his goal is going to be to fly these ships in formation, at least at the start.
For sure. I've played against Robert actually twice with triple jumps him playing either this exact same list or a variant of it. And he is not afraid to break the formation. Because really the only range 1 protection thing he has Loric's ability, which is great for bigs, but at the same time, he, with especially having Ray on Rourke there, he can peel her off and then just kind of be skirting the outside in TLTs.
Yeah, that's right. And it's interesting to have TLT in this list. Again, that's something that Jess doesn't bring to the table, but TLT, a very powerful upgrade against a lot of different builds.
Absolutely. And when I played against him, so we're 1-1 right now. I beat him in the final for a store championship, and he beat me in like the second round of only a 4-rounder, the one that he won. And in the one that he beat me, he was able to leverage that TLT really, really well, and just kind of I let that hawk get away, thinking, oh, it's just a hawk.
Yeah,
it's fine. I gotta kill Loric, and the hawk is what did me in.
But at least my bigs and his bigs.
Alrighty, they got set up here. So most people with Ray will slow roll it and build up that Ray focus. That way, Rourke can either have 2 focuses, one for defense and one for offense, or do a target lock focus attack and basically almost guarantee those TLTs each time.
Yeah, we're used to these Hawks being able to just build up focus, right? There's the Moldy Crow title. Used to be you run that with Recon Specialist, but Ray kind of gives you another option to be able to do that and just have focus basically whenever you want.
Yep, and it's cheaper.
And it's cheaper.
And it's cheaper. 1 point cheaper, and 1 point can make a huge difference.
I'm not sure if the clock has been started on their game or not. They might be just waiting.
I think they're waiting for the green light.
Official time.
And they start freaking going at it, and they run towards the center, and they try to hit each other, and yeah.
All right, so how are you putting out damage? Well, you're putting out damage because you're rolling 3 dice with everything.
Not Rex.
Man, but Rex ain't there for damage.
I'm gonna
No, he's not.
double check with Ron
He is not
to
there
see
for
when this
Anything
clock's
that
gonna
Rex
start.
does damage-wise is about this.
You guys ready? I'm gonna run it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So give us 1 second.
Like 1 hour and 15 minutes. Start.
Okay.
Good luck, brother.
All right, sir. We are started with the clock.
All right, they started the clock. Maybe we can get a timer up of our own. Alrighty. So Marcel is taking the aggressive approach, going nice and fast.
You should really try to cut it closer.
It's parallel.
Focuses. He may do a little stagger formation with a 3 here.
Yeah, what do you think about the obstacle placement here? What's going to be sort of the best line of approach for Marcel to take?
Well, where he's set up right now, if he wants to, he can go right through the center of the board. He'll split up the silver and the red ones, and just split right through there. And the blue one's in a spot. Like if he really wants to, right now, he could barrel roll back, barrel roll it to the left or to the right. Okay, he's gonna go to the right.
Okay, so just kind of squaring up this formation a little bit.
Yep. Now Robert's coming a little faster than I thought. He's going to put 3 forward.
I think probably just trying to get around that first asteroid and give himself a few options of where and when to turn in.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing I do like about the fact that we are doing a day 2 for the cut is that all the players are fresh.
Yeah.
You had a night to sleep. You ate your lunch and your breakfast, and we should have some pretty good play here from both players.
Players and commentators.
Absolutely, helps.
Let's not forget about that.
But yeah, so you were asking Marcel's approach. Marcel, I could see him coming through the middle. What he opened up for himself right now is a 3-bank with the red one, 2-bank with the silver one. If he wants to, he can barrel roll to the right if he wants to go around the outside.
Right.
But I think he's going to meet him in the middle and try to use those rocks to his advantage.
Okay, kind of break up the formation.
Break
a
up the
little bit.
formation, yep. And then we'll see we'll see what Robert decides to do. Whether
Yeah,
he's-
both lists kind of have some jousting potential. Obviously, Robert's list with 4 ships, just a lot of dice being thrown. But again, with the TLT in there, maybe the approach is a little bit different. And then Marcel obviously has the jousting potential with those torpedoes, being able to just put a lot of burst damage on the board very quickly.
Yep, and I'm curious to see how Robert plays this because with Rex in the front, with Rex in the front of the formation, if he wants to keep it that way, at least when going forwards, he's always going to have to do 2 forwards. All right, he's decided to go a little bit slower here. He's still got plenty of time with the barrel roll to be able to turn into the spaces, so not a big deal.
Maybe just waiting to see if Robert's going to turn in on this turn or if he's going to take another turn, kind of just skirting the edge of the board.
Mm-hmm. Now, one common strategy against these kind of lists is to bring them through the rocks. The problem is that the rocks are so open that Robert has plenty of space to maneuver in there, so shouldn't be too big of an idea. So it looks like he's already breaking up the formation just a little bit.
Yeah.
He's leading with Rex. He's got to be careful with that though, because all right, so we see Biggs is lined up right in front of a debris cloud, so he's either going to have to bank him in or just say YOLO. I mean, he has R2D2. We'll have to see here.
Yeah, Biggs can take some hits, but not too many hits.
No.
Kiss. They're not shooting. Correct.
All right, looks like another round of no firing here,
Mhm.
as both players are sort of jockeying for position. We see Robert charging up Ray.
Yep, that is his second focus on Ray. Alrighty. So the is the two hard, is that red, or he did 3 hards, right? 3 hard is red on the Hawk, right? That's probably why he banked them.
I'm not sure. We can look that up, but that very well may be the case. We know the Hawk does not have a fantastic dial.
They
But-
don't? What?
I know, shocking.
Remains force.
Obviously, the winner of this game
The Hawk has a white 2 turn as its only turn.
Oh, okay, there you go. So that's why he banked them in. I'm curious to see what he does here because I think if all the ships could do a 1 forward for Robert, that would be the right move, and then just bring Rourke in with another 2 bank, and that would get him in a nice formation again.
I want to say that, does the TIE Fighter have a 1?
It doesn't.
I didn't.
That's the issue. It doesn't have its 1 forward, so
So maybe just doing a 2 forward here.
he's got to be careful with that though, because if he leaves Rex out there to hang without Biggs, he could give Marcel an advantage by him being able to attack him and not even do damage, but being able to spend that focus and get that target lock
Sure.
and want to
Sure.
just blow him away.
Yeah, that's right. Kind of a little bit of setup.
Mm-hmm. Now, could that be a trap? Maybe with an evade token plus Lorik's ability, that's 2 damage mitigation guaranteed. Would that be a good trade? Getting rid of one of Marcel's torpedoes for potentially up to 2 damage off of Rex, or none if he rolls well.
Yeah, that's right. And of course, Robert's going to be shooting as well. So,
Mhm.
he could come out on top of this exchange just depending on how the dice go.
Start off
Mhm.
with
Some sportsmanship there.
It's always nice to see players, even in the elimination rounds, helping each other out.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the good things about this game. Fly casual is the mantra that gets repeated a lot, but there's a lot of different ways that fly casual can be expressed.
Absolutely.
And I think helping out your fellow players with movement templates and ships is one of those ways.
You know, this is. I'm having a little bit of flashbacks right now because this looks like Marcel's setup right now looks almost exactly like what happened in our Titan game match right now. Because I got him in this corner. This guy's probably doing a one hard as well, barrel rolling. I'm guessing the silver one. I mean, he could go one forward too.
Oh, you
Yep.
called it. Yeah,
Yep.
you know Marcel's plan.
Yeah. There's a good chance. Oops. There's a good chance that he catches somebody in arc. He's gonna check for the target lock. But if he hangs, I think that's a good choice though.
Just kind of keep it back a little bit.
Keep it back, and make sure next turn he can get just in that tip of range 3 on somebody
Yeah.
and blow him up.
You've talked on the podcast before about controlling range,
Mhm.
and that's such a big part of this game. What do you think? How do you think? How important is controlling range in a matchup like this?
Oh, it's huge. So there was one of our newer players in the area. His name's Omar, who flew triple jumps, and he's like, "Oh, it's such a good list." But he's a newer player, and that's one of the things he's learning is how to control range. He's like, "Man, I never really got the torpedoes off."
Uh-huh.
So that's why you have to manage the range, because someone who doesn't want to be torpedoed, they can very easily, if they want to, go from out of range into range 1.
Sure.
Just come in fast and aggressive, and then now I would say that against triple scouts, maybe not the best thing because they can just block you for days. But if you don't have the experience with being able to get a block, get out, and then have the arc pointed in the right spot to get the torpedo, that could hurt.
Yeah, I think a big part of X-Wing for me that I didn't know right when I first started the game is just the ability to have an exit strategy.
Mhm.
So, you could always set up for the joust, but being able to get out of that joust is a big part of how you should plan your approach. And I think with these jump masters being able to turn around and being able to reposition and being able to shoot with a 360-degree primary weapon, that definitely is one of their big strengths. For a list like Robert's, who has to rely on either K turns or you see the lightning reflexes upgrade on Lowrick to get turned around, it maybe involves a little bit more planning on how you're going to play the game after the initial round of firing.
Yep. So are we just barely in range?
Kind of what it looks like.
Yep.
Marcel saying here, roll here.
It's 2 dice. One.
See one hit.
One hit. Take off the blank, Robert.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. There you go.
Marcel's done this
He's a
before.
pro.
And so I see 4 dice there. I'm guessing
There's an
range
evade
3
right there.
obstructed, and there's the evade.
But what Robert really wanted, he wanted that suppressive fire token. But this is what's happening now is he's going to attack. He still gets 2 dice.
Do I lose suppress
Okay.
because I shot you back?
Yeah, it'll go away. But,
Because I
So
shot
he's
you.
attacking Rex. Still gets 2.
but I want to make sure I get in the habit of.
He's going to
So I
spend the
have
focus.
this, I will
And the
remember
most valuable piece that he's
focus,
getting here is the target lock for next turn.
and it will
Yeah,
give
and
me a
just no reason to spend it right now. Just saving it for next turn and setting up that potential torpedo shot.
All right. Evaded.
And then suppressive fire goes
Comes
away.
off. Yep.
any other shot.
That's the part I forgot about yesterday when I was playing it. I was like, oh, it goes away?
Yeah, and it's so hard here from the table because we can't really tell what's going on, and so we weren't sure if
Yeah.
it was forgotten or not, and we figured you guys knew what you were doing.
I don't know what to do.
Nope. That was the first time I ever flew Rex.
But in all
It was
honesty,
great.
it was the end of the day.
Yeah.
It had been a long day already, and things like that happen, and it's the responsibility of both players and spectators, but mostly both players to try to catch things like that.
Absolutely. So Marcel here, well, I mean, he has a myriad of options right now. He has that target lock on Rex, though I don't think Robert. Like I've seen Robert play a few times, and Robert is not afraid to go through that debris. He'll just
Sure.
he will shove in there for just to kind of bump and avoid the torpedo. But I actually don't think Marcel will torpedo Rex right now. Actually,
Okay.
don't think that's the play because he doesn't have suppressive fire, and he could very easily just he could one bank target lock Lorik or Rourke if he has that in range, because Biggs is probably will. Well, man, it depends on how
Yeah.
far he might be able to actually get Biggs. I would go after Biggs if he can drop 2 torpedoes on Biggs with the one with the red, because you go 1 forward with the red one, you're gonna have him in target lock range.
What does Biggs do here? Does he just do a 1 forward, or does he bank kind of more to his left?
Bank to his left. I mean, he would bank to the left. The question is the speed that he's gonna go at. But I like Marcel's position right now because I think he's gonna be able to get the edge of range 3 on Biggs. Robert with the X-wing dial, maybe the 3 bank could bring him close enough to not get torpedoed, but he might end up clipping that debris.
His reinforced to get
Yeah,
And you need your focus right now
anybody
for
that's
defense.
within range 1.
that's true. And I think it really depends on what Marcel's going to do here.
Generally, it's
Because
going to go
Marcel's
towards
moving
Biggs,
first, and so he'll
or
want to
go
be in range
towards
to
whoever
target
you
lock,
shoot.
but not too close that he can't get the torpedo off on his target.
Exactly. And then the blue one, its job is to be the focus mule. So it's gonna probably do a 1 hard or a 2 hard in, or maybe even just come 1 forward, just depending on how he wants to set it up. I could also see Marcel, since he does have the target lock there, if he wants to, is you go 1 bank, barrel roll to the left, and try to get behind that formation.
Yeah, sure. Sure, and just take primary weapon shots,
Mhm.
get some damage in.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do this. We'll start here.
Okay.
Looks like both players are set. We have that red jump master moving first.
Oh, he's coming in hard.
Yeah.
He's gonna try to break that up. He's gonna do 3 bank barrel roll.
So barrel roll here, not target lock. You think?
Yeah, for sure. Oh, he's gonna go in for the target lock on Rourke. I like it.
Okay, so maybe he's just seeing Rourke as the biggest threat here.
Yeah. He also could be just checking.
Oh.
His soft range check. Oh, things got bumped.
I just know he wasn't lined up with.
That looks good. It's pretty close.
Pretty close. Could be relevant with those obstacles in the way, but I think they've got it.
So he's out of range of the target lock. We have a floating range stick. He's probably chewing on it.
Probably gonna go this way, but
Yeah, you
He's-
see this posture a lot. We noticed it a lot yesterday. The fists on the table. This is the thinking hard posture.
Uh-huh.
You see a lot of players do it, and I know I myself have been in that exact position.
Oh, yeah. Because he's thinking, he's like, all right, if Biggs banks in, because what he could be doing, if Biggs comes in slow and that barrel roll doesn't clip him, he just served up that jump master, 3 multiple range 1 shots.
Yeah.
And that could be bad.
These jump masters have a lot of HP, but not unlimited HP.
Exactly. Let's see what he's gonna do here.
Still thinking it over.
He's really debating that barrel roll. That's what it is. Does he have the one in his hand? He does.
Yeah, I think he didn't get the target lock he wanted. I think the barrel roll might be the next best move.
He's gonna target lock Lorik
Okay.
instead. That's a good choice too.
No, that's why Marcel's at the top table and we're not.
Yep.
I don't know. It's just that I'm not generating a ton of offense. These guys are going there slowly.
Alrighty, 2 forward. So he definitely was trying to go at Rourke.
Okay.
So he's switching that target lock.
So he'll likely get at least 1 shot here on Rourke.
Mm-hmm.
Focus up the team.
And the blue one is the Atani.
Actually, I should have focused with him, and
Now, one thing he is setting up, depending on what happens here, he always has the option of just shooting the primary at bigs, get the target lock, sloop out. All right. Bump? Question? No.
No, I don't think so. I think that's good. So maybe an evade token here.
He goes with the focus. He's
Focus.
going offensive. Oh, Rourke's in a bad spot. He's about to get popped, or at least get hurt.
Yeah, it looks like that that arc is gonna just hit where Rourke ended up. He's doing looks like a 2-bank, getting right in behind Rex.
You got me good.
All right, so we'll get some action here this round.
Yep, and it looks like I would straighten out that Wookiee.
Alright, so
Kind of got
Shoot first.
Yeah, I mean, if they've all been flying in formation and not bumping, they should be all squared up.
right.
Combat though.
So the question now is whether or not that arc catches Lorik, and I don't think it does.
Okay, so we see an extra focus get thrown on Rourke. I'm not sure which ship is shooting now because Rourke gets to make one of his buddies.
That's Rex.
That's Rex.
Yep. And he takes one shield on the red one.
Okay,
That's
now
Biggs.
probably Biggs.
Range 1 with 3 hits and a crit. All the shields are gone on that one.
And now Lorik.
Lorik, no, that was TLT from, did he skip Lorik's attack?
I'm not sure. Yeah, this looks like a second TLT shot.
And you're gonna shoot me with 3, right?
Yes.
4. You would have to get 3 natural hits, which is a possibility.
Debating whether or not to spend the focus on the defense or take the 1 damage.
Okay.
I think that's 3 shields off, 3 or 4 shields off that Jump Master.
Yeah, he's got a pile of 3 here.
Who's the focus?
Ready? Take 1. Oh, sorry, it was 1 ready. Take 1.
And that could have been Lorik's attack.
Alright, start of combat. He can only shoot bigs, range 2.
Alrighty, we'll double check some things here in a minute.
I'll spend my focus.
He's going primary at Biggs, spends a focus for 2,
Takes up a target lock.
takes 2 on Biggs. So we know that shields are down on the red one. Johnny, keep watching.
Next. My first plasma at Rourke.
Okay.
For this guy.
All right, spending a munitions token here.
Alright, so it's target lock going at Rourke. Oh, dice goes off the table.
Okay, BC3.
Spends a focus. He's going to get the target lock back. And just guidance chips for the
Guided
4th hit.
chips. Yep, 4 hits. Coming at Rourke.
Oh, natties. Alright, so it's
Alright.
going to be a shield and a card.
Onto roll.
I will use my first plasma here.
Okay.
And then another torpedo shot at Lorik, is
3.
my interpretation.
Yep.
Suppressed, yep. I will spend my
And
focus.
he has suppressive fire, so it's only 3 dice. He spends a focus, gets the target lock back. All 3 shields come off. of
All right,
Lorik.
so definitely some damage here by Marcel, but this Friendship Rebels list likes to spread damage around.
Yeah,
and
right now,
that's what we
he's
see.
yep.
And I've
He's
got
playing
him.
right now. Robert's strategy is working because net damage on Biggs is going to be 1 because he's going to do a green next turn
Sure.
and get a shield back from R2D2. I really think the play I think Marcel went too aggressive that turn. But
Right.
he still has some hole left. Let's go find out, see how many cards that that Jump Master's taken.
Sure thing.
Thank
Would
you,
have
sir.
been nice if he had just.
I'm sure for you, yeah.
Taking 3 damage cards.
He's only got 2 life left.
2 life left.
Very nice.
Not very nice. That is the opposite of very nice.
We'll take a hit. And it is this one.
I'll recover that.
See you later.
That Jump Master has taken 3 damage cards.
Ooh.
So,
All right,
pretty
so-
rough.
Yeah, then if you that barrel roll I was talking about would have been solid.
Yeah,
Would have
that's
been
right.
real solid. Because he would have not taken shots. There would have been no actions on maybe even any of the ships because they all start getting bumped back. The only one that would have ended up with a focus is Rourke. We'll have to see here what Marcel's gonna do. He has some good sloop opportunities if he wants to. He can sloop with the silver
Yeah,
one,
definitely.
sloop with the red one if he wants to, and you take the blue one and you throw it in there for a block. He's got intel agents, so he's going to be able to see where he can see. It's probably range 2 from the blue to Rex, and then range 2 to Lork. So he can see three of the dials that he wants.
Yeah.
Alright. We're gonna put it into base. Range. And I will spend it to acquire.
And yeah, somebody in the chat is mentioning this. Yeah, a good strategy is when you have a jump master with low health is to keep it as a blocker. Like you avoid shots by not getting shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Intel
So we'll see what he does here.
Okay.
from this guy.
Yep.
But I think I didn't love Marcel's. Sorry, buddy. When you listen to this in the future, I didn't love your decision here. I think you went too aggressive.
Him.
All right, so we have Intel Agent on Rourke, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
His dial's flipped up.
Yep. He's deciding who else he wants to see.
Got it. Alright. Just put this one into the hated stress hog with green armor.
Alright.
Lorik next.
You will.
Alright, well that kind of tells me what else is doing.
Focus.
And this guy I'll Intel agent.
You gotta be with. Is it
And
range
Rex.
22? Okay.
From the blue one.
He's turning.
All right, so lots of information coming into Marcel now.
Reveal this guy first.
Yep. Looks like Rex is doing a 1 hard.
Slooping.
Other guys can't really tell. So here's the sloop from the silver one.
Yep, like you thought. Makes sense. And then maybe grab a target lock here. He knows where those ships are ending up.
Yeah. Does he have a target? He has a target lock already on somebody. It's still on Rourke. But he's decided to use his focus because maybe Rourke's positioning puts him in arc for the next torpedo. Next guy, what's gonna do here? There's a sloop as well. Now depending on what these guys did, he might be able to barrel roll behind the formation here.
Yeah, that's true. Just stay out of arc.
Yep.
Get out of the TLT range as well, possibly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got to remember that Lorik does have the 180 arc, so he might not be able to avoid that shot. All right, he's gonna make it the focus mule, or he's gonna double focus for defense.
Yep.
And
Just
We
the
shall
one
see.
straight.
he's gonna see if he can just get in there and be a troublemaker.
And him, I will.
Yeah, depending on where these guys land, I'm curious to see if whether or not the barrel roll on the red one was a good idea.
Yes, 3
Just
health.
depending on how the arcs turn when things bump, because I'm assuming things are gonna bump because he didn't do any barrel rolls at all. He felt that all the moves were gonna work.
So
Yeah.
I can, so we're gonna bump you here.
So I'll use intel agent from this guy.
Sorting out the tokens here.
So he's debating something. He's debating either probably whether to change the target lock. Because I mean, I can't see the moves over there, but I'm doubting that a barrel roll helps him here. Probably debating if whether or not target locking Rourke is a good idea, and see if he can get him off the table. Especially if Rourke's only doing something like a 1 forward.
Really thinking this over, looking closely, checking out the spacing.
I will switch my target lock back to Rourke.
Yep,
And
he's moving it to
he's
Rourke.
decided.
Good? All right. We'll move the top fighter first.
One thing this can do, especially if Rourke ends up, if a bunch of stuff ends up bumping, this is important that they mark this, because I don't
I mean,
think
he's going to run into it.
I know.
Rourke is going to move. I don't think Rex's arc is going to turn very
sure.
much, because it's a 1
Okay.
hard,
Yeah.
and it's mostly just going to scoot forward.
They barely move forward.
You got to put a marker in the back. You have to.
Just keep that there. We'll just put him back.
It does not turn that much.
Oh, and now they just took the template away, so it's all just guesswork from here.
Yeah, because you were in front of.
Oh, I was in front of
You were in front of him, so you were more like
Yeah,
that.
it's mostly going to go forward.
That's fine.
There's no way that Rex should have arc on the red one at all.
Yeah, I think that's probably the case.
All right, so it looks like Rourke bumps into Lorik.
But that's okay. That's where Ray comes in, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll get a shield back.
Shield on Biggs. Thank you, Robert. He bumps into Rex.
And then it looks like Lowrick bumps into Biggs. So like you said, kind of just a traffic jam here,
Yes.
brought on by the blue jump master getting in the way.
Beginning of combat. Ray?
That blue jump master will certainly take some fire this turn, but we'll see if the red one survives to get a shot off.
This is Lorik going at the red one.
Yeah. Range 2 through a debris, so. Okay, so 3 on 3.
Reroll the eyeball.
It's got Wookiee Commandos. 1 hit.
1. And then I roll 3, please don't die. Evaded.
It's obstructed. You got 1 evade.
Okay, so
That's a good sign.
turned out very nicely for Marcel.
So he's going to have to dodge 1 TLT.
Whoa!
That is range 1 on the blue one from Biggs.
Yeah. 1. So I take 3.
Looks like you got 1 evade there. Probably 3 shields on the blue one.
Roar TLT.
1, 2, 3. Yep.
On to 70.
They're so good at rolling dice.
And this looks like it could be the TLT shot. I only see 1 hit
No,
there.
this is good
I don't think it's.
for Marcel.
And he's just double checking the range to make sure that
Checking to see if it was obstructed. See if he gets that extra dice. It always helps.
Alright, this is the one. Don't blank out anybody.
Got
and
it.
he got it.
You saw him like crowds like
Fist
yes.
bump, yeah. Here's the second one.
It's only 1. He might be able to get out of this with 2 hull.
Those were.
Blanked.
And
Nope.
he takes
All
it.
right.
Next one.
So still a huge turn of events here.
He's down.
That red jump master survives another turn. We'll get to fire this turn. Live till next turn.
Oh, no, that was on. That was.
Things
Yeah, they
definitely
both have 10
swinging
target
Marcel's
markers.
way after that exchange.
Yep. When does the suppressive fire token come off?
It's when you shoot.
It's after this turn, right?
If you shoot Rex, I
And we
think I
did say
believe
the
it comes
attack was
off.
obstructed.
or
Yeah,
if
no.
Rex didn't shoot
So you
someone,
get 2, right? Yep.
then it comes off at the end of the round.
I am this.
Suppressed.
Use only 3.
Yep.
And I will.
Ooh.
I'll spend my
All right.
focus.
Okay.
Get
So
the
yeah,
target lock and spend
he's
the
gonna get the target lock back, spend it right away with R4 aggro mech,
And there you go. I'm not allowed to spend
and
focus
guidance
again, right?
chips for.
And
You can't spend that
Judge.
focus.
So I'll go with. This guy's got.
looks like they're asking.
Yeah.
No, you cannot spend multiple focuses in the same instance.
Okay, so
With
So
an
hit
attack.
crit. Shields are gone off Lorik. Lorik's only gonna get 1 dice, so that crit's coming through.
one critical.
All right. That's a crit on Lorik.
Receive a
Uh,
stress token.
Not sure which one that is.
Yeah.
Looked like receive a stress token. Yep.
Okay. Good
There
eyes.
you go.
Good eyes.
Okay, so I will shoot his missile.
I'm trying to learn like the shapes of the
Yeah.
text.
How many lines? How many words?
Yep.
He's done no more missiles. His missile.
Plasma from the blue one on Rourke.
Actually, wait, no. Then I'm gonna spend his missile.
All right. So continuing to spread fire out a little bit, but definitely putting damage through.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. This is from the silver one.
Also only got 1 left. Because I already used 1.
So that is that on
That's on Rourke.
Rourke.
And I will
Yep.
spend the
All right.
focus,
Those are
get
good
the target
symbols.
lock back.
Spend for 4.
Looks like 4 damage.
Not gonna matter because
This could do it.
he only got 2 left.
No, Rourke does not have any focus.
That's 3 health.
Yeah,
And you
spent
might
it
have
on one of those
Yeah.
failed TLT shots.
And I think that'll do it. Yep.
Oh, Rourke is
Well,
gone.
I was trying to kill your shell.
So now,
Now, I lost my target
let me update this before I.
So that takes TLT off the board. That takes the utility of bumping
so he
someone to
will
pilot
shoot
skull
big
12, which
range
isn't
1.
so relevant, but could matter. And just takes a ship off the board.
I will spend my focus to get a target
He's got
lock.
1 dice. He's attacking bigs because he has to. And he's looking at to see whether he has torpedoes or not.
This missile is spent. This missile's still on.
The blue guy still has torp in there. He's going to spend the focus to get the target lock. He's debating whether or not to re-roll it right now,
I spent that 1 to get. So spending that
since
gives me the
bigs
target
not
lock.
have any focus.
Yeah, I think I would spend
spend
it
the target
just
lock.
because I don't know
Yep,
if he's
he's-
going to get a chance to get the torpedo off next turn anyway.
Yep.
So 2 more.
Looks like that's 2. Shield
Regular damage,
and a
correct?
card.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
So getting into hole on bigs is good.
No, you're good.
Now, Marcel's cannot underestimate that 180 arc on Lorik, because that right now Lorik is going to be the big damage dealer. As long as bigs too can hit pretty hard. Robert's really aggressive. He's not afraid to spend the focus on offense.
What does Biggs do here? Because Biggs would like to do a green to recharge shield, but that'll get him very much out of position. Does he just K-turn here to get shots off next round?
I think that's the play for sure. Yep.
And then same from Rex perhaps, or does Rex kind of just try that 1 turn again that he was going for last time?
Let me think.
Because you could, yeah, I don't know. That red jump master can maybe. No, I'm not sure.
So normally you would want to use the red one as a blocker and try to just have it sacrifice its life to like deny actions and
Sure.
hopefully get some other damage in. The blue one doesn't have a target lock out there, but if let's say he had spent it, he could have. One thing people forget: the jump master does have a 4K.
Yeah,
You
that's
don't
true.
see it very often.
That's right.
But he could have perhaps done a 4K with the blue. I mean, it's irrelevant now, but he could have done a 4K and possibly pop bigs on this turn. Yeah, I'm curious to see what Robert does.
DXSIO is asking only 1 torp left. I believe that's the case.
That is the case. I'm fairly certain. Yeah, both of the torpedoes are flipped on that other side. 1 is left on the blue one. That is the 3rd jump master.
But as you pointed out, no target lock at the moment.
Right.
Looks like the dials are down, maybe just finalizing.
Double checking, triple checking. It's always good to be sure.
Wait, I don't know if he's got range.
All right, he's got intel agent on Lorik. I mean, he's got intel agent on all of them.
So just checking all of them.
4K from
Yep.
the TIE Fighter, 1 soft from Biggs, and 1 forward from. Oh, you're gonna 1 forward. Okay.
I'll do whatever I need to do with Lowry at this point.
Yeah. So I'll move him first.
Okay.
Going 4 forward.
Okay.
All right, here's a 4 forward.
Like halfway, okay?
Okay.
It's gonna clear.
So
They're just using the side there to not have to mark all the other ships.
Yeah, that one was at 1 damage
that'll
card.
be like just like. So he'll focus everyone.
He's getting some distance right now. Probably trying to set up for the torp next turn.
Yeah, just focus everyone up. Those other jump masters may not have an opportunity to focus this time, so just get it out of the way.
I fully expect this red one to get in blocking position. Yes. Alrighty. And depending on what Biggs did, he will barrel roll or not.
You're gonna do 4. I can block your 4K. No, I can't.
Yeah, barrel roll could cut off that 4K if that's what Biggs is going for.
He'll move
Right.
too far forward. Or out of my
Hey, those who are watching at home, let us know how the audio balance is between our voices and the table mic. Thank you.
Marcel getting down close, checking out the spacing, trying to visualize where that jump master is going to end up. Shaking the camera.
Of course. You must.
So, still barrel roll.
In your humble opinion. Thank you, Mr. Thor. Alrighty, so he's going to go for that barrel roll. He wants to block Biggs. Like, Rex shooting 2 dice is not a huge deal, especially if Rex did something like a 1 hard.
Okay. And that's his focus.
Your third dude.
Oh yeah, he is moving still.
Alrighty, we'll see what the silver guy's doing. He's going to have to leverage those turrets now and get some range 1 shots with those and start peeling off. I think the next person you start really trying to pound down is Lorik.
Yeah, I think
If you can.
Lorik's a good target. 1 agility, even if you're only throwing 2 dice, you could put damage through pretty fast.
Mm-hmm. Now, we can't forget about lightning reflexes on Lorik. It's a really good card. You might think all of a sudden, oh, he's out of position, and he just flips him around. It's only 1-time use, but not a very common EPT that we see, and I've seen Robert use it to great effectiveness.
Although Lorik is stressed at the moment.
Oh, yeah, so he can't do it right now.
Oh, I messed up.
That crit giving a stress,
I was supposed to do a 4K.
very relevant.
That's what I figured you were going to do.
Yeah.
Okay, we see target locks coming out.
And just like torpedo Biggs out of the world.
Debating on an action.
Huh? No, I'm saying what I should have done is kept the, instead of spending my target like last time, kept it and then 4K. Didn't think that far ahead.
Marcel's thinking, if I would have done this, we've played a lot, so I know he's thinking, he's like, man, if I would have done this, and he's trying to think about what the future is.
My clock says 34 minutes left in the match.
You can lightning, maybe you can lightning reflexes while you're stressed. Thank you, Chris. All right, he's gonna take that double focus, not worry about the barrel roll. I don't think he has the space to do it anyway, but. All right, there's a 4K from Rex. He's gonna get a stress, but he does have probably a range 1 shot. It's gonna be 3 dice. Biggs is banking 1. He's getting blocked, but that means he's regenning. So Biggs gains a shield if he remembers. Yes, he does.
Malric. Stress.
And Lorik, there you go. So that red one's probably dead.
All right.
Yeah,
Range 1. Malric.
I think right now, if I had to give an advantage to anybody, I think it's leaning towards Robert right now. So we're only 1 torpedo left. That definitely can swing the game.
Okay, this looks like the shot from Lorik.
Yep, there's 2. And he needs double paint to live.
Last bit of damage to him.
Oh,
Nope.
1.
That
That's all I needed.
red one's off the table.
Dead. It would have been cool if I survived it.
All right, so got the block in, but taken off the table before it can shoot this round.
Got them both. Go ahead.
Rex is going to attempt to shoot here. Cannot. So Rex will shoot there.
Focus.
Alrighty, and here is Rex.
Nothing.
Become
Misses.
suppressed. I'm presuming you're going to shoot back at Rex.
And suppressive fire. Now, Rex is...
There.
He's going to fire with the blue one first on Biggs.
Into
Probably to
Biggs.
determine whether or not he fires at... who he fires at. Alright, double blanks. Spend the focus. Get the target lock.
And I'll spend the target lock right away.
Spend the target lock.
That's pretty aggressive. 1 crit. I don't think... Looks like he got an evade there. I don't like that he spent that target lock. I really don't. I understand that he's trying to get damage in now, but with a green next turn, Biggs is just going to get 1 shield back.
Yeah, maybe he's not thinking about that R2D2 because you
Yeah.
don't see it as much in this build.
So he did attack Rex. Rex is going to take 1 damage.
Okay, so that could be important.
Person goes away.
All right, so we're back to dials now. Marcel does have some good amount of life in still left on the table. The blue jump master is out of position though because the arc's pointed the other way. He can't sloop to the left. Man, I really think that 4K turn would have been good last turn.
Yeah, right, instead of the 4 straight.
Yep.
But that's also the jump master that focused for everybody. So if that one isn't focusing, then you're forcing another ship to take a focus.
That's true. That's true. But you could have. I guess the positioning, what would have happened is that the red one wouldn't have been in the spot that it was.
Not even worried about you.
You would have had to do something else.
Yeah.
He came in and turned. Well,
He's going to be out of the fight.
what's done is done, right?
Yeah, and then handing out stress to all your ships could have been important as well.
Very true.
So now do you see Biggs and Lorik turning around this turn?
Yeah. They could even.
Yeah.
It depends on what Robert wants to do. Robert could just 2 hard,
Yeah.
but if he 2 hards, I think the silver one blocks him pretty easily.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, just do a 2 turn with a 2 hard with the silver one, get in the way.
Now I think that might be the play right now, is trying to block, making sure that you bump Biggs with the silver one. That way you could just take Rex off the table, and just get rid of that effect, and hopefully have enough life left to get some stuff done.
Clean things up.
Mm-hmm.
We're down to 28 minutes.
Okay, so from that, I would guess that he likes his positioning. I don't think Biggs is 4King. I think Biggs is turning.
Try to get back into the fight at least a little bit, huh?
And we're gonna probably see that jump master. Depends on what Marcel wants to do. He could barrel roll closer to get a better shot. Yep.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Yep. And he's got some space now. It looks like he actually could sloop next turn if he wants to turn it around. Or do something crazy.
Gotta do my tag first.
What is your take on Intelligence Agent? I've heard some criticisms that it sort of can be a crutch and that the best players will kind of be able to read where their opponent's going to go. What do you think about putting Intelligence Agent just to guarantee that you have that information?
I love it. I think so. It's like I've heard that argument definitely. It's like, but I know. It's like, but you don't, right? But you don't.
You don't know until you see it.
Yeah. All right. There's the 4K from Biggs. So yeah, you really don't actually know what's going to be happening, and if you have that perfect information, then you can make, especially when you have post movement maneuverability, you can make decisions that benefit you in the game.
All right, we see Lorik just doing the one forward.
Yep.
Definitely keeping that silver one in its 180-degree arc.
Now, Lorik is away from Biggs, so both jump masters can take advantage of that. Now, if you here's the thing: when you're on the side arc, reinforce does not. If he reinforces the back, that's only going to work for the blue one.
Because the worst case
And that's
scenario,
because
him
the silver
shooting me
one can
is
shoot
guaranteed.
at the
If I take it
front.
to the front, it affects here.
Correct.
So
I'm just going to double check that real quick.
we will start with
Dion just going to clarify how reinforce works. I know he was using it yesterday and had some of his own questions. So he's just getting it cleared up. And we see the attack from Lorik.
You were somewhere like that, right?
yeah.
I see 3 damage there. And no evades.
Flower range one.
So silver one takes 3 to shield.
It's going well, buddy.
Reroll the eyeballs. One. And then Rex.
Range 3.
Okay, so both Biggs and Lorik getting big attacks here. And now we have Rex shooting at the blue one. And Marcel is taking a beating this round of fire. We'll see if he can return fire.
Okay.
Range 3.
Range 3.
Measuring range here from the blue one.
Next.
On Rex.
No, he's shooting Biggs.
He's at range 1.
To
Yeah, you
shoot
can't shoot
at
Rex with him.
Biggs with 1 die because of that suppressive fire.
Sure.
Spends the focus, acquires the target lock, and is going
Come
to
on,
let the
1
target
die?
lock ride.
Range 1 on Biggs.
Okay.
Silver one, range 1, I'm guessing on Lorik. We'll see how many dice come out.
One hit, one crit.
Nope, must be on Biggs. Biggs takes shield and a face-up damage card.
You already got 1 stress.
And Biggs picks up another stress from that damage card. Ouch. So no actions here for Biggs next turn. He can still do a green to recharge shield from R2-D2. But not being able to focus up for defense, huge.
This is not going well for Marcel.
I would say that's true, but also Robert took a bunch of damage that round as well.
This is true. He took a shield and a crit,
I said I gotta get back into the fight somehow.
but it's gonna. I mean, Robert, I guess he does have double stress, but so he can just do 1 forward with Biggs and
Do
just get the
Get the shield.
shield back.
Hey,
So it's gonna
sometimes
net
the
1
best
damage.
move is maybe not necessarily.
And risk
I do agree. They should stop rolling the dice on top of the ships. It helps.
taking them.
I think the mistake that Marcel did here, he fell into the trap of this list, which is
Yeah.
please spread the damage around.
Yeah, absolutely. Even without draw their fire and selflessness, you're
Yeah.
still forced to shoot many different ships because of Rex's ability and Biggs' ability and Lorik's capability of sort of
Mitigating damage.
mitigating the damage.
Yep. So that's looks some green from Biggs, probably a 1 bank, something like that.
Can you mark?
Mark him out the map.
Marcel's Jump Masters did take some more damage that round. I don't know if you.
Yeah. The shields are gone on the silver one.
And I will focus.
Trying to see if you can get behind Biggs. I like it. They are arced ships, so if you can take advantage of the turret, try to leverage it. If you can get 1 turn of uncontested shots, that could help.
That could swing the tide,
Mhm.
definitely.
Especially if you did something like a 1 forward or a 1 bank to the left with Biggs. That could hurt. There's a sloop. Oh, there's a rock. He doesn't hit the rock. There's plenty of space. He knows what all the dials are doing, so we'll see if a barrel is going to benefit him at all. He's got that target lock on Biggs.
Flip around. Or you could if you wanted to.
Yeah, if Biggs is just doing a 1-speed maneuver, I don't know if he has him in range in his current spot.
Marcel's the play he has to do right now. He cannot get too desperate to take shots because every shot that he can't bring him in too far into range, especially if he barrel rolls to the right or something like that. He's got to try to play a little bit of a longer game and start picking away at Biggs.
Barrel roll.
Biggs is double stressed because he took the crit that gives a stress token out.
I'm gonna start in the front first, and then I might.
Just looking up the warding on suppressive fire.
Still, I need to get one other punch.
And so he does go for the barrel roll here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's surprising.
What?
I thought you were
So
gonna
with
get
the 2 bank. Yep.
Why would I kick him? That does nothing for me.
So blue one's gonna get suppressed again.
Thank you, Sir 13 Scott, for the host.
All right, this is good. This is very good, actually. Curious to see if he's gonna pop the lightning reflex. This 1 forward. Oh, this is very good.
Yeah, this is playing out exactly how Marcel wants.
Yep. It looks like Biggs is out of range of the blue one, so he can attack Rex, get rid of the suppressive fire, maybe get some damage in on Rex even.
Yeah, Rex is already down 1, so definitely in danger here.
Out of arc? So
Yeah, Sozin. I mean, I love me some Marcel. He's like one of my best friends, so I have to be biased. So the Biggs doesn't have a shot. Rex is going at the blue jump master.
And I can shoot Rex. 'Cause
Okay,
It looks
see-
like 2
see
hits
some paint there.
or hit crit.
range what?
It's a range 2 or 3. They both bring out their official FFG sticks.
No criticals, no criticals.
We'll see how many dice they pull out. Oh, I know, Sozin.
1
All right. Looks like there is one evade there, so he's just going to lose that last shield on the blue jump master. Oh, no.
Oh.
Looks like that shield was gone already.
When it's again, roll one fewer attack die. Okay, so you
Uh,
still an action.
Can't. I don't know which one that one is. It's one of those where you roll for it.
One die because that's only against him. Yeah.
So that crit does get through. Johnny, can you find out what crit that is?
Sure thing.
One die. One die. Well, first before I roll my one die. You're gonna attack with him? Yeah.
I think it's weapons failure, but not 100% sure. All right, he's got range one shot on Biggs. Oh, there's some crits in there. Hit, crit, crit. No mods. Oh, looks like he forgot to do his action with Biggs. Hit. Droid. I think Biggs is out. He's dead. All right, Biggs is gone. Looks like Biggs is off the table, Johnny.
Well, that's a big turn of events. That crit is weapons failure.
Oh,
Roll
on
one
a-
fewer.
On the jump master, that's bad.
Yeah, one fewer attack die.
Look at me, I'm the hawk now. Okay, well, how much time we have left in the round?
So you're one die on Rex?
My clock has us at 16 minutes.
16 minutes. Okay. Now that blue jump master does still have one torpedo left in the tank.
That's right.
So, you said how much time? 16 minutes?
Yep.
If Marcel can play this game if he wants to, if he just blocks, perma blocks Lorik. Okay, perma block Lorik. Try to get that torpedo off on Rex. Just get him out the game. If Marcel runs at the time, he wins. Because he's got right now on the table 34 points. All right, let's see. He's got 32, half of 32, 16 plus 12 plus 17. 16 plus 17 is 33. So he's got 33 points left on the board. Lorik is only 30 points. So he has that out if he wants it. We'll see how he plays it.
Yeah.
The 180 arc is tough, though, especially with the lightning reflexes, because Robert gets one just like crazy flip. So it's hard to play for both of those.
Even with the bump, I just learned from Twitch chat.
Yep.
Yeah, it is interesting that Biggs can survive so long now in these lists. Yesterday we had one of these Fair Ship Rebel lists on stream, and Biggs was the last ship on the board, I believe.
Mm-hmm. So here's Marcel doing that hard one barrel roll shenanigans, probably, depending on where Lorik is going to go. I just hope that he remembers lightning reflexes and how that can affect the position of Lorik. So here's would that work at all? So he's gonna focus. Just had a thought. If Robert hits the jump master at a 45-degree angle,
Okay.
where the arc is kind of like he's in the front arc and the back arc, and then he uses lightning reflexes, is he still considered overlapping? Because the arc would flip to the other side and still have him in arc. We'll see what
I
the move
think so. I would think so.
I would think so,
I'm
too.
not a judge or anything,
Yeah.
but yeah, if you're overlapping, you're overlapping. An 180-degree flip doesn't change that.
Right. Okay, interesting. I get what Robert here's going for. He gave 2 dice back though to the jump master.
One focus target lock on Rex. 3 dice.
Alrighty, Lorik's gonna do his move. It does not bump.
Yeah,
I knew you were
looks
gonna
like it
bump.
fits
You're
in there.
larger
That's
base
bad.
ship and you were already in front of me.
Okay, so the silver Jumpmaster might have a bad day.
Range 1 of Rex, so we'll just
Probably still survives this round, but
He focuses for offense,
Oh, to give him the.
which I think is the right call,
force token to him to make it even
especially when with Lorik still has 5 hull left.
yeah.
Okay, range 1.
Yes.
And here comes the shot. I see a lot of
Ooh,
paint.
that is 3 hits and a crit.
Didn't even need
So
to
this
focus on
Jumpmaster could be taken out if things go Robert's way.
He's gonna, yeah, he has to spend that, so that's a hit crit
So that is 71.
on the silver one.
Another one. Weapons failure.
Weapons failure works for me.
By Marcel's motion, that might be another pretty bad one.
So he had to use his action. to put it down.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll go.
Yeah, let's go find
check it
out.
So Rex,
Also, Johnny, see how many cards is on that one? Like, just double check the damage on it. It's another weapons failure? Oh, double weapons failure.
God damn it! I want your dice.
where were my dice when I was shooting at your ship that
All
only had
right.
2 health? With PLT, it did
All right, he got natty evades
Okay, here we go.
on
So
the silver one for that shot.
this guy.
Blue one here, range 1, so he gets 2 dice.
I'll spend my
Uh-oh.
target lock. And I'll spend my.
I guess he was able to flip the weapons failure on that one. Here we go. There's 1 paint. Evade takes 1 more damage.
Yeah, I see that as that was the only damage card on that one.
Okay, cool.
Attack die. So I'll be rolling 1 on you.
All right, one dice that Lorik and missed.
All right, so 2 weapons failures out on the board.
Well, it does look he was able to flip the other one,
Okay,
so he did get a 3 dice attack with Rex.
all right.
Marcel's got to get this last torpedo off.
Yeah,
he's got
I
to.
think that's
he's
the
got
key.
to. He's got to.
So do what?
Lo-
Rex,
Go ahead.
sorry, Rex down to 1, Lowrick still at 5.
Uh huh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's got. I think you have to pop Lorik with that torpedo.
Okay, approaching 10 minutes left in the match. So really only time for a few more rounds here.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, I think let's see. He's got 4 hull left on both. It's too hard. I might do like a. I don't know if a 3. I might do a 3 bank to get a little bit of distance and see if I can get a way to be able to flip that weapons failure.
Sure.
But keep Rex close enough with the blue one and try to get that 1 more hole down.
Well, or do you just go for the block here again on Lowrick? Just so he's not shooting at you.
I don't think you can.
Yeah.
Got it? All right, so in our other game, William Hegwood versus Ethan. William takes it, so William's going to be at the top table. That's our Hoth Open champion. And now we got...
Have gold on gold.
We're going to have gold on gold, for sure. Alrighty.
Trying to get that movement template in there.
Stop wiggling.
All right, so just a 3 straight there. And
Focus.
focus up the team.
Yep. Because he's going to try to flip the weapons failure on the silver one. Or, like you said, just go for the block. Why not?
Yeah, he knows exactly where Lowrick's ending up, so
But the thing is, like, I think the best play here for Lorik was probably just like a 1 forward and then lightning reflexes to flip yourself around.
sure.
Yeah.
Might as well use it.
Yeah. He's in the corner. Silver has 4-hole, Scott. I don't know if you remember earlier, I had one more damage on, like one more extra hull on the blue one. That's where that extra one was. It was on the wrong guy.
And looks like that crit did get flipped around.
Okay, this is good. This is a good turn of events here. He was able to block Rex, so Rex will not be suppressing anybody this turn. He also doesn't get an action. Lorik, I think the best play. Ooh, double block?
Oh, no, Lorik fits in there.
Oh, it wiggled. Nah, all right. So he's probably gonna focus.
You're not gonna shoot. Well, these two can't shoot. So you're gonna shoot here to here.
Yeah, I have to shoot here to here and here to here. Those. I mean, it doesn't make sense to shoot anybody but him.
I know.
He's reinforcing the back, I think.
That's what I see.
Yeah.
It's not a block after he moved the template. Well, definitely.
Wookiee Commandos for 2. He's debating whether or not to spend that. He did have a focus on there.
I will spend it.
He is just going to take it.
So 3 on,
No, looks like he spent it for 1 damage on the silver.
and then target lock. And then focus.
I'm assuming that's on Rex. 3 dice.
Yep.
Oh!
Natural. You see Marcel throwing dice around. Oh, goodness.
All right.
Second attack.
Reinforced, no
Yes,
damage.
Reinforced. Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Alright, I think that was the game. Because I could have.
Yep.
Marcel doing everything he can to get damage through and just, wow. Denied with the evade dice.
I had him range 1, hit, crit. 3 natural evades.
Wow. Okay. So silver 1 took another damage, right?
Yeah, I see 2 cards up there. Marcel is animated.
That was the game.
Rex should be dead.
Rex
Oh.
should be dead. Oh my gosh, so many times.
Well, this is where, like, it's unfortunate, right? Here, you know what? There's some math guys in the chat. What are the what's the percentage chance of throwing 3 natty evades? Can you let me know with that?
Or,
No, it's an action.
yeah, it's just an action. Oh, roll an attack die.
Yes, that's exactly.
What there's 2 evades on
3.
there's 3 evades on a green die.
Anyway.
3/8 something
To the third.
to the third. I don't.
3 ace times 3 ace times 3 ace. So that's 18 over 64. No, 18 over a lot. No. 100% if Duncan wills it.
So I'll start with this guy.
Is that right? It's a 5% chance.
Yep, sounds about right.
5% chance to throw 3 natty evades.
Yep, confirmed by the chat. So my clock has them under 5 minutes. We also have a tournament clock up here, but that might be
That's the
for
the side event.
the side event. Okay, so I have them as under, actually right around 4 minutes. So could see the last round of play here, depending on how fast they go.
He's got to kill Rex. He's got to kill Rex. He's got to. Thank you, math peeps.
Alright, so we already know he's running into.
His best shot with the coin flip. All right. So Rex gets bumped against. Rinse and repeat, baby. Are
Yeah.
you ready?
Try it again.
Okay, so he's either, depending on the range, does Marcel just go like, screw it, torpedo, if he's got the range? It's like, look at these 4 dice.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the right play here.
So Lorik bumps as well. So the silver one definitely disrupting Robert's plans.
Yep.
Robert will have no shots this turn. And we have 3 hits.
Let's try this again.
Here we go.
Just do it again. Just do it again, Robert.
Can't tell, but
Oh, okay.
Rex is off the board. So Marcel gets his redemption.
There you go. Alrighty. So I don't know. Marcel's got to remember that he's ahead now. Let's score wise. What he has to make sure that the silver one does not take any more damage. No, he just doesn't want to take any more damage. Don't get shot anymore. If he could get the block there with the 1 bank, you focus. You focus, and you see if you can start get the target lock. Try to blast him with that torpedo.
Yeah, Chad agrees. Chad is saying just do the infinity block.
Yeah, I mean
So-
that's the way to do it.
And Marcel will be able to tell what maneuver Robert has dialed in every single turn. Lightning reflexes maybe can change things up a little bit, but we shall see.
1 forward, fits.
You're gonna get shot front and back.
I'm going to take the focus.
He's going to take 2 range 1 shots. He focused. Got 3 hole left on that jump master. Range 1. There's 2 hits, 2 focus tokens. There's 4 hits. We need some paint here. You have to spend it. You have to. Yep. He spends it. He's taking 2 damage on the silver jump master.
I only saw 1 damage card get thrown out there.
There's 4.
Oh, okay.
Target like that to focus.
Oh. Three. They're really going fast here, so sorry if I missed something here.
I see a crit out there. And he's rolling. It must have been a major explosion.
Start of each counter phase, roll an attack die. Okay. Dials?
Looks like he's got 1 hole left on Lorik. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 hole with a crit.
I either kill you or. Oh, you got me on more. I guess more chance. Alright. So you can take all your time here.
Alrighty. Marcel's just jiggling the camera all over the place. Alrighty, let me adjust some things here. He's got 1 hole left on. Do me a favor, go find out what that crit is on Lorik.
I only destroyed 66 points. You've destroyed 70. Or 34 and 33, right?
Yeah, I'm at these guys combined is 33.
Yep.
And it looks like this is the last round, no matter what.
30 points of mine.
He's only at 30 points.
Yes.
Oh, so
That's what I said.
so in this turn you have to kill me.
Unless the clock went off before.
That's why I was trying to destroy one of your ships.
All right, last
before
round.
Rex even died. Because I wanted to make sure that I got points.
So he's down to 1 hull, so your likelihood of killing him is high. Just have to kill you on the return shot.
Console fire? Okay, so Lorik has console fire, so he could kill himself.
I'm gonna try to survive.
That's right. I should have double checked with them, but on my clock.
This should be the last round.
This is the last round.
This is the last round.
No. That's why I kept trying to shoot.
So Marcel's got to do 2 things here. He's got to make sure that the blue one has a shot, and he's got to make sure that the silver one gets into range 3. And
Okay, looks like he's going for it.
yep, just get him out. Yeah, move the whole table. That works too. He's gonna focus.
That's why I was hoping you would roll 1 blank out of those 2 dice.
I thought it was the other way around.
Nope.
Yeah, there you go. Make sure he's in a spot where Lorik cannot bump him. That's a good spot to be.
Winning are greater anyway. And action.
Alrighty. He is flipping Council Fire with his action, which doesn't make any sense because it's the last round. That's a mistake on Robert's part. It's a huge mistake.
Why is that? If you roll for damage, then he could.
I guess that's true.
He could get taken off the board.
Alrighty, that Jump Master's dead.
Just gotta roll some hits.
Now he doesn't have any defense. Oh god. He's got to do one. He's got to do one. 3 dice. That'll do
there
it.
There it is.
Right down to the bitter end.
Good game.
That was super close.
Well, he was gonna
And of course, MOV doesn't matter in elimination.
It does
games.
not. You go down to the bloody end.
Wow.
Playing it as if I was losing.
What a game.
What a game
Very,
for sure.
very swingy. It was back and forth. We thought Robert had it for a while. Certain turns definitely went in Robert's favor. Marcel having some frustration, but then just barely able to squeeze this one out.
Yeah. And for those, I saw somebody said no block, question mark. Marcel did not want, he should not have blocked. This was the last turn. You don't want to block. You want to make sure both shots. Because imagine if he would have blocked. I guess he could have blocked with the silver one if he wanted to. But he still had lightning reflexes active. You don't know what Lorik is going to do until afterwards. You had to play a little bit more safe and make sure that he had a shot with the blue one, range 1 shot especially. But yeah, so that's the game, and we're gonna have Marcel Manzano versus William Hagwood here in a minute.
Heck of a matchup.
Yeah, we got the Hoth Open champion versus the North American champion.